Also, yes, I've seen the updates on Discord. For those who are not, this is your occasional reminder, not daily reminder, occasional reminder as we get Yogotag medical history with the both tweaks, that Panstaz has posted updates in the Discord, and there are quite a lot of things to glean from what we're gonna get. Now, how much is it gonna be really? I'm not saying this is a positive or negative thing, I will have to see. But as we do our best to survive, that's not the character we're playing today. I think if I did 2 videos, let's do a third. I mean, I don't really mind, it's not too weird, I don't think. But, oh, medical history into these things. Again, we don't set all perks because we're working with custom characters, and I want to play them pretty much as raw as possible. So as we get into Yogotag medical history, random item stats, custom character once more. Again, all you need to, I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see me, is that on the Discord server, Panstaz has been a lot more active, and if nothing else, especially for those who are creating custom characters, there's a lot of content to glean over as we get second encounter, dexterity, light, knowledge, strength, and maybe a second mystery check. But there's also things like the bigger... Everyone who made a custom character should probably think about making a... because there's another new character select sprite that you can essentially select. I forgot what the exact dimensions are. I thought I wrote them down somewhere, but I forgot, so I'm just going to move on. I could probably take like 5 to 10 seconds to check, but basically know that it should be available. If you search for Panstaz's name in the Discord server, you should be able to see what the dimensions are, basically, if nowhere else. But as we get Coma, Vigil, Television, Shuttle, and Frogs, and I did rotate my mysteries, but we don't have any of the new ones to this time. I'm pretty sure I may be repeating some, but if I am, as we're just going to go for the meat cleaver here, the next time we rotate, I'm just going to include them all again and go that way. Now, note that this series, quote-unquote, ends as I get hallucinations. Well, good thing we're going for the meat cleaver then. But yeah, this series, quote-unquote, ends when I get to the most recent character on the Discord repository, pretty much. And even then, I haven't thought of another idea yet, because again, I'm also working on my own game, which is another topic I could get into. But really quickly, yeah, when we get through all the custom characters that are available, wherever episode I quote-unquote end at, is where we end at. We can't fight this, by the way, we're going to lose too much reason. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on that note. But, as we move on here, I did do the ritual, didn't I? I feel like I did. Also, this is a very terrible meat cleaver, but it's all I have for the moment, so off we go. Keep in mind, we do start with fun, so I could at any moment switch to the army knife, and if it does 6 damage, that would be great. If it doesn't, yeah, this one's going to be a lot more painful. But anywho. Also, continuing off from at least the past 2 videos, if not the last video, yeah, I am dealing with a little control situation. It's looking a bit better, but we'll see what actually happens, because I found some tools that I can use, and some home remedies, and hopefully it'll get a lot better. I definitely need to wash things around, including pets, so yeah, hopefully I get through with that. But aside from that, game development, really quickly, I could rush development, but I don't feel that often doesn't go well for me, so it might take me another week, if for no other reason than for quality, to check the quality. Again, it's not going to be a very big game by any means. If you're rushing through, you could probably finish it in like 30 minutes to an hour. If more, I would prefer it to be 2 hours, and the main reason for that is because I need to remember my things. We could take Shuttle. Yeah, probably should take Shuttle. Coma last then. We'll save Television for third because of boss fights, and I want to prepare as much as possible, but we'll check the illegal den really quickly. If I can get the army knife immediately, that would be nice. Otherwise, sadness happens. We'll reroll once or twice. It's gonna be better than the meat cleaver. Just because the meat cleaver does 3 damage, that's literally the reason why. If I cannot slur my words. Village downtown, max threat level. We'll do downtown here if the police station would grant me a meat cleaver. Actually, you're taking the meat handcuffs, but hey. But yeah, I could always rush development, but that hasn't gone well for me. So, basically making sure everything's okay. And the main reason I say I want my games to usually be at 2 hours is because if, for whatever reason, I decide to throw a game on Steam, keep in mind, I think if nothing has changed in the past 2 years, it costs $100 USD. Oh my goodness, nice threat level, by the way. It costs $100 USD to put a game on Steam in the first place. And then on top of that, players can refund a game if they played less than 2 hours or had the game for less than 2 weeks. Well, if they've had the game for less than 2 weeks and they've played less than 2 hours in a game, then they can refund the game. But that's, I mean, yes, the other side of the argument is don't make a bad game, if you want to put it simply, but there's not really a but to that statement. So off we go. But if nothing else, I mean, the more ethical part is oh, that's 16, okay. You do want your game to be worth its time. But of course, there are obviously games that only take like 30 minutes to an hour to really finish, or to at least consume in a timely manner. But I mean, that falls to each player and whether or not you want to leave your refund, because legally you're allowed to refund a game even if you completed it, whether it's 100% completion or anything else really. You're allowed to refund a game on Steam. So that's a whole other argument. Could go for a pack of cigarettes, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, there's not much else to say. So into television I go. We didn't really get a lot. I can grab a pack of cigarettes if I so desire, unless they cost 5, which they do. But hopefully we can sell this meat cleaver for 1 fund, and then grab these pack of cigarettes. We'll take out of funds. This character wants to use funds, so... Did I take... Yeah, no, I took Quick Shopper. This isn't a proc rate, right? It always happens. I'm going crazy here. Lowers Doom by 2, so hey, but we need to try and pass these, unless the game just rolls a 12, but... Off we go. So here's the thingy-majiggy. We'll grab 2 funds and see if we can get more. I don't know if we will, though. It would be nice if we get the, if we had the perk that allows us to get funds per enemy defeated. But that's hoping for a lot. But even just that, even another extra pack of cigarettes here would actually change this run by a lot. But it all depends on RNG. Could also just end up selling items if nowhere else than the History Club. Grab an item at the History Club for 3 Doom and sell it for 1 fun. But again, since we're on random item stats, we're not guaranteed to do that. Also, max start level. I could switch this. Do I go for a Yoichi play here? I'm gonna go for Yoichi play. We didn't, but we get Fujiko, which is just as good, and Uchida. We can also make use of Paranoia. I think that heals Reason, right, if I recall correctly, but I guess we'll see. Really? We can fight this, so I don't really mind. Now, if we miss twice, it's gonna be a tragic. It is gonna be a tragic encounter, but no, not too tragic. But I did miss one, so that makes me sad. We're just gonna go throw a Hail Mary here. We've already missed once. Never mind, we can't even fit a strong attack. Or we can't fit 2 attacks. So I guess instead we go for a dodge. We're already taking 1 all damage. Actually, can we do this? No, we can't. So we'll just try to fit in 2 kicks. Might as well do this. If I missed both of those, I would have been very sad. But now we can do this. I didn't dodge the attack, by the way, so we just took -2 all, but not as tragic as it could be. That only grants us 4 experience, but sometimes defeating enemies grants you things, like, for example, if I had the perk that gives me funds, then I would have liked to have fought that. Also, we want to pop the cigarettes here. So, blah, 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 5, 6, and 7, right? I don't even remember. We'll approach Kimiko and try to cut her free. 7 dexterity versus 6 strength, but we roll an 11, so we would have failed both of those anyway. We can go back to the... I mean, I guess this is your reward for listening on to be random about the game, technically. But, oh, we can also handcuff this again. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me focus for a moment. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so if you didn't know, or if nothing else, Panstaz does listen to ideas. Basically, there are a few things that I know several individuals have been asking for pretty much since the last update, or very at the beginning for some people. And essentially, they're getting them now. So don't let it be said that Panstaz did not listen to the audience and try to, well, at least a dedicated, good faith audience, and try to implement things in. I don't remember if I ever suggested something that would be put in. I know that I've said things through videos, but I've never really said it through Discord, which obviously, I mean, again, if nothing, as long as you're being respectful, of course, as we finally grab looting here. But yeah, if you're being respectful and it makes sense, and because it you know, you have to suggest something that is reasonable to put in, unless Panstaz just has all the time in the world, which is the case for, I think, a few things that Panstaz is putting in, but I can't remember. But I was supposed to pick the left option there. But yeah, again, rewinding back, don't let it be said that Panstas does not listen to suggestions. Again, as long as you're working in good faith and, you know, being nice about it. Now, obviously, to a devil's advocate, just for a small moment, you can't, like, criticism where criticism is due. So if someone feels bad about criticism, that's a whole different thing. But usually, I mean, you know, if you're shouting at someone in bad faith or in a mean way, let's just say, as it turns out, whether you're right or wrong, the other side doesn't like being yelled at. Like, human beings don't like being yelled at, as it turns out. But to pull it back to a lighter note, oh my goodness, pain, by the way. We can't get rid of that, actually. Yeah, but to pull it back on a lighter note, again, Panstas has listened to suggestions. At least I feel like that's the case, if I'm recalling correctly, or if I'm calling it correctly. Both, really. Yeah, there are some suggestions that I've seen floating around for ages, and they're finally being implemented to the next update. Now, the funny part about all this is whether or not, as we grab another pack of cigarettes here, is whether or not... I forgot what I was going to say. I was just looking at my other pack of cigarettes and I flabbergasted myself. But anywho, off we go. Actually, is this brick, if the brick did 4 damage, we might actually consider. But 7 strength, and we get to pass. And off we go. We could actually lose this run because I forgot my second encounter. Heck, I forgot my second mystery to some extent. We did Vigil into a boss that was not a thingamajiggy. I think that's because we have Quick Shopper. Never mind, I lied. We get a curse for that, but it's not the worst, thankfully. So off we go. I don't know that event. Can we brace 7 strength into an army knife with nicotine rush? Yeah, we might even be able to do a strong. Never mind, I lied. We can't even do a strong. Well, we'll still take this in the face. We do have things we can do. I could also sell the medical kit, but just in case we get a bad injury here, let's hold off on that for a moment. Okay, we didn't. Did I ever get an injury from the thing? Paranoia, blah, 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 and then that. Oh, also, you know what I should be doing? This. I forgot to be doing. I just talked about Uchida. I don't often get... I think this is actually the first time, in practicality, I get to use Uchida. Because there are certain turns or enemies in which... Oh, I didn't defeat the enemy, by the way. This is gonna hurt. I flabbergasted myself. Hold on. Let me just... continue on for a moment. Could heal stamina, but I want to take the strength. I think I have the strength check. And while we're here, we can also just do this. So now what's going to be really unfortunate is that I think I have a dexterity check, so I am worried about my stamina. But at the same time, I need to also visit this monument. So 1 funds, perfect. Don't ask for out of funds, otherwise I'll cry. Could also sell the medical kit. You know what? We're gonna risk it. Actually, we can use this, and hopefully these bandages sell. Okay, they do. That way, just in case we get a minor injury, like badly bleeding. Yeah, badly bleeding. Then hey, we could also lower Doom by this, but I don't want to risk it. So off we go. Am I getting 2 funds per mystery? Right? Is that the yeah, signed contract? That's why I'm getting so much funds. I'm going absolutely insane. No bats, by the way. Don't remember my second encounter at all. Would it be something in Vigil? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. So just calculating. 3 stamina, 3 reason. 6 stamina. We're taking 6 stamina damage. Well, we did need our strength at 8, but we have to rest 3 times. Do we have the 6th floor? We do. We died no matter what. Well, either way, let's just continue on. Do as much as we can. It was certainly not the monkey. It was certainly not Mr. Fabulous as well. Unless I fought 2 things. No, I had to be one of these 2 things, right? So what did I run away from? I ran away from the Pillar Vampire, I believe. Nope, I'm wrong. Never mind. Well, I guess I'll just see you in the next video. Nothing much else to say. Look at that fish looking at me!